All right, Vicky, I've got 6:30. We have 3 members of council on, so we do have a quorum. If it's okay, I'll go ahead and bring us to order. Okay, everyone, if you will, I'm going to go ahead and mute when we do this, but let's stand and do the flag salute, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and with that, I will go ahead and call this meeting to order. With that, I would like to ask Krista, do we have Krista online? Yes, we do. Wonderful. To present the supplemental budget, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Council, it's good to see you all again, virtually, of course. So tonight, I would like to just go over briefly and present the supplemental budget that's been prepared for the city and also briefly discuss the new special revenue fund. So the purpose of the supplemental budget and the creation of a new special revenue fund is largely to provide the accounting and budget support for the ARPA dollars that the city has been granted. So as you know, the city's received 2 different grants, and we need to be able to both account and expend for those grants in a way that's going to be easy to follow, be able to support the audits, of course, for Hubbard. And also we want to make sure that we have the appropriate budget authority in place to be able to do that. So this resolution that we will present this evening essentially accomplishes those 2 things. So one, we're asking for the creation of this new special revenue fund, which will house all the grant dollars specifically for ARPA and all the related expenditures. So everything is very separate from the rest of the city finances. So that provides a really great internal control mechanism for the city, as well as a really easy audit trail for your auditors coming in. It also just gives that transparency to your citizens, your public. So if they have any questions, or if you have any questions, your staff have any questions, it's very clear, like the dollars were spent on these items rather than being commingled with the rest of the city's regular accounting and operations, right? So that's the purpose of creating this new special revenue fund. And that happens to be the fund type. They call it a special revenue fund in the governmental accounting world because we have different classifications and fund types. And this is the appropriate vehicle for this particular type of grant. And then, of course, the other task, of course, would be a supplemental budget. And so we're proposing essentially a budget adjustment. So what that budget adjustment looks like is it was published in the paper, and then it was also included in the resolution, which hopefully you have in your packets with you or in front of you. Or this adjustment, what it does, it basically creates the ARPA fund. It shows the grant revenues coming in. It also is capturing expenditures that staff believe or reasonably believe will happen over the course of this fiscal year. So what we have is we have grant revenue increasing in this new fund of about $1,792,504 estimated there. We have personnel services of $36,000. We have capital outlay of $822,000. And then we have our special payments, which those would be like those pass-through grants and funding that you're doing to special nonprofits or other organizations. That's $47,500. And then the rest is reserve for future expenditures of $887,004, just to make the math all work out. So the fund is balanced as required. And that reserve, what that's doing, that is essentially holding dollars for the next fiscal year. So essentially those are dollars that staff is not expecting to tap into and expend in FY23, but will probably happen as expenditures in FY24. And so we'll deal with that in the new budget process, right? And with this adjustment, staff have also requested that the water construction fund has an adjustment as well. And so you'll see that in the resolution as well. And what's happening there is you're seeing that we're expecting to spend a little bit more in capital outlay there. So that's increased by 170,000. And we decreased the reserve for future expenditures by the same amount. And so that is largely that staff are anticipating using some water construction dollars to accomplish some of the water projects that will be happening. There will obviously be largely ARPA dollars going into those projects, but it looks like there's some additional funding that is needed. And if you have additional questions like that around that particular issue, I would need to defer to Melinda to provide more information. But ultimately, this entire package, what it's doing is we're going from a total adopted budget of, we had $10,365,187, and we're bumping this up to a total amended budget of $12,157,691. So that is the total change that is being discussed today. Does the council have any questions for me that I can answer?
Thank you. Councilor Aldrich.
Has any of the money been distributed yet?
Meaning spent or distributed
Yeah.
out to staff? Not to my knowledge. Essentially, what we want to see normally and what I've talked to staff about is we want this to come to the council first, right? Have the legal appropriation authority in place. So that way then Melinda can start tapping into those dollars, making those expenditures and paying those bills.
But I mean, none of it's gone out to a single source yet, correct?
No, if I may interrupt, there was discussion about the personnel. We had discussed that and that has been dispersed.
Okay, other than that, nothing else has been paid out?
That is my understanding, yes. That's correct.
Okay, because there was a question about one of the payouts changing already. And when would I bring that up?
In this case, Councilor Aldrich, I'm assuming you're referring to Jubilee Garden?
Yes. Being as how they're dissolving, we talked about maybe not doing that and putting the money elsewhere. Does that need to be done in this budget thing?
So I would say it depends on what the situation is. If you have an organization that was originally expecting to get some of those pass-through dollars and now they're no longer going to be getting that, it's certainly okay for us to adopt this supplemental as presented today, because you'll simply have a little bit of additional capacity within the budget appropriations that have been laid out. You don't have to spend it by any means how this is laid out today, but you'll still have some room there. So if there's another organization that pops up that the council would like to grant funds to, you would have that essentially already appropriated and have that room to spend those dollars.
Perfect. That was the only concern that I had. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Councilor Prinsloo, any questions?
I have no questions. Thank you.
Okay, with that, we have no other counselors online that I can tell. So I'm assuming if it's acceptable, I will go ahead and open up the public hearing. So it is now 6:38 and I will officially open the public hearing on the supplemental budget. We do have, well, I guess at this point, do we have any public comments? I can obviously tell there's really no one on public on here, but Joe, you are on here. So if you had any comments. Okay, if not, then I will go ahead and close the public hearing. It is now 6:39. And we'll move on to the final process here. And that would be, I'd like to, I know it's in here somewhere. 1 second. There it is. I would like to make a motion to approve resolution number 7412022, a resolution approving a supplemental budget and creating a new special revenue fund for the fiscal year 2022-23 budget.
I second it.
Okay, we have a double second on that one. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, for all counselors who are present online, the vote is unanimous. And with that, I would like to thank you, Krista, for joining and walking us through this, and for your continued professional services. You approach it, you explain it very well. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for approving the resolution, and I will work with staff to basically set up this adjustment to the budget in the accounting system so they can be able to go forward and do the work that they need to do.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay, and with that, we'll move on to other city business. And Director Nogel, I believe we had one additional item to take a look at, maybe an update on the, any update on the 2-year contract option.
So the city attorney is recommending council make a motion to delegate authority to the mayor and director of administration, city recorder, to work with the city attorney to make an offer and negotiate with the top candidate for the city administrator position.
Okay, before we move on to that, with Councilor Aldrich and Councilor Prinsloo online, any questions or concerns with that recommendation?
No questions, no concerns.
I have no questions or concerns. Thank you.
Okay, since I would be the one that would be receiver of that, could we get a motion?
I make a motion that we have you, the mayor, and city administrator work with the city attorney and go for the top candidate, whatever else Director Nogel had said.
I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for whatever Vicky said. I like that one. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay. Okay, for the councilors present, the motion is carried.
Thank you.
Any other city business? Councilor Aldrich,
No other business now. Thank
Councilor
you.
Prinsloo.
I have no other business. Thank you.
Okay, and before we were to move to an adjournment, anyone from department heads, Chief Rash or Public Works?
This is Dave. I don't know if this is appropriate or not, but I guess Vicky can shut it down, but I would like permission to hire. We're probably going to be losing an officer in the next month or two, and I'd like to get the process started once he leaves.
That is sad news to hear, quite honestly. But that's surprising because you provide great training, and I'm assuming our officers are going to be in high demand. Vicky, is it okay for the council that's in session here today to approve Chief Rash to move forward with a hiring process?
Yes.
Okay, then I would like to make a motion that we approve Chief Rash's department to move forward with hiring a replacement officer.
I second that motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, all those opposed say nay. Okay, for all councilors present, the motion does carry. Chief Rash, you have your approval to carry forward.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh, that really stinks. We have such a great police force, a lot of great officers. Okay, any other city business from Public Works?
This is Melinda, Public Works Administrative Manager, and I do not have any other things to bring up. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. And Director Nogel, any additional business?
I have nothing further. Thank you.
Wonderful. Okay, then I would like to go ahead.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
I second that motion. My motion is second. All those in favor of adjournment, say aye.
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 Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for dialing into the special city session. Have a great evening.
You too.
Aye.
Good night.
Bye.
Good night.